asked me to give up the hand of the girl I love. You tell me I'm not the man she's worthy of. But who are you to tell her who to love? That's up to her, yes, and the Lord above. You better move on. Now you can buy her fancy clothes and diamond rings, but I believe she's happy with me without those things. Still you beg me to set her free. Oh, but my friend, that'll never be. You better move on. I can't blame you for loving her, but man, can't you understand? She's my girl. I'm never gonna let her go, 'cause I love her so. I think you better go now, I'm getting mighty mad. You've asked me to give up the only love I have ever had, and maybe I would, oh, but I love her so. I'm never gonna let her go. You better move on. You better move on. Oh, you better move on. Arthur Alexander. Can I have a little? They don't pass me by when a perfect stranger doesn't tell me that I remind them of someone they once loved or knew that died. Smile back at them as if to say, well, thank you, 'cause it's good having been seen for having tried. I came here to raise a glass to all my lonely, foolish dreams. Glass spills over sometime when the trouble starts to swell. No right mind and no one wants to break down to a stranger. So that's why God made bars and booze and one-night cheap motels. But friend, you look like you're drunk enough, you might understand me. Let me put on your coat a while before the night tears us apart. There ain't nobody sober who's going to talk to me tonight, 'cause they've all heard this one already about me and my big fat stupid and useless broken heart. I know just why I came here, but I know I won't admit it. At least not before I've had a few more than a few. Staring up at the stage and wondering when she'll get started. A few more and every song she sings will be about me too. She sings about loneliness like it was something she invented. She's kicking at my head from the inside. Shattered by illusions that I just one day might be happy. And she leaves smiling, but before I can drink a bowl, I can't hide. But friend, if you're my friend, you'd think you'd tell me, but I'm too fucking drunk to listen, and the night's tearing me apart. There ain't nobody sober that's going to talk to me tonight, 'cause they've all heard this one already about me and a big fat, stupid and useless broken heart. You've been hurt by love. Now you hate the world. Night yields to dawn. Now your dreams are all gone, and you've got to move on without that girl. It never could, it never would, never can, it never will. Though it's got the whole world moving while your feet are standing still. It's got you staring into space. It's knocked the smile right off your face. Oh, nothing will take the place of love's sweet thrill. Oh, nothing ever could or ever will. Oh, she hit you and run, and now you've lost the will to live on denial, wear that false little smile, just knowing all the while you want her still. Oh, it never could, it never would, it never can, it never will. Though it's got the whole world moving while your feet are standing still. It's got you staring into space. It's knocked the smile right off your face. Nothing will take the place of love's sweet thrill. Oh, nothing ever could or ever will. Oh, bound to your bed. Oh, down days ahead. Oh, love is cruel. Haven't you read? It gets them all in the end. You've been hurt by love. Ah, but love's a well-known lie. It's stronger than smart. It'll break steel apart, but it can mend the heart she left to die. Oh, it never could, it never would, never can, it never will. Though it's got the whole world moving while your feet are standing still. It's got you staring into space. It's knocked the smile right off your face. Oh, nothing can take the place of love's sweet thrill. Oh, nothing can fill this face she used to fill. Ooh, nothing ever could or ever will. How's your weekend going? They're always going. You think you could ever make one last? Kiddo, from my end, I fear a fool's heart always breaks way too fast. How could a girl like you, how is it that a smile can make me so proud to be humbled, broke up and beguiled? Kiddo, I'm just another stupid fan, another old weak, married and foolish man. Give you a bright light, a pistol, sex and white light, a dancing pyre built of 1,000 burnished diamonds. Dare I take your hand, crash with both arms open wide, till everything stops still and you flash another smile. I pray this song finds you wherever it finds you, that it finds you well. Kiddo, did I forget to mention my wife? She said she liked you, I can always tell. Me, I hold to this kind of bent punk Christian view. Always try to ask myself, now just what would our Sid Vicious do? When I find an answer to put my heart at rest, I draw a broken bottle across my chest. But if God could just forgive or forget me just this one time, Sydney is still dying for all these stupid sins of mine. Grace might commingle with ecstasy while my mounting stupor wilds away everything that once seemed somehow important before Jessica smiled. Kiddo, I'm just an old man, even less of an old man than some knotted old tree. But kiddo, can you try to help me remember just how it felt to seem so free? Well, young men's inspiration just spills down from above. What us old, we prattle on about graves and hopeless loves. And you're young enough and rare enough, it's true, to be the squire's only daughter too. Of all the larks that sleep within my head, dream of their escape to fly and sing about you. And all that drunken drumming was singing madly in that room, and underneath the dim rock rose from a tomb. But do I long for you? What could have been, and I've been so wanton, heedless and wild? Or is everything, or is it just that so long, and then Jessica smiled? Is it just that for so long I have so longed? And then Jessica smiled, and then Jessica smiled, and then Jessica smiled, and then Jessica smiled, and Jessica smiled. It's a heartache, nothing but a heartache. Hits you when it's too late, hits you when you're down. Thank you. She throws back her head and she laughs. Her hair is as wild as an arsonist's dream. I wake and brush off the cinders. She turns and she whispers, ain't life a scream? And I reach for the floor and I struggle with my shirt over the last cigarette. Oh, she never wastes time. I find it's already burning. I probably should have guessed what that meant. And she shrouds herself in a damn sheet. She stands in the moonlight. Her eyes start to gleam. Then she throws open. Eyes start to gleam. She says, let's run up the iron escape. She throws open the window. I follow the steam. And we lie on a rooftop under an infinite ceiling littered with stars. Oh, this may not be freedom, but at this point in our century, pal, I'm not sure freedom has gotten us that far. And Then she starts in on a waltz, the kind you don't hear anymore. With your face, you grab your best girl and you lead her out of the door, out onto the veranda. Your head swims with fever, there's a pain in your chest, and the bright paper lanterns around you light softly her breasts. Then she pulls a bottle of wine from a smokestack, the way rain is conjured out of thin air. And me, I feel a little more strung out than Jesus. 3 days before Easter, she slices a pear and then unwraps her gown, and dozens upon dozens of roses appear as if from nowhere. And I'm thinking out loud, when Christ looked back on the garden, did he wonder, should I have taken the dare? And the city spins around in a waltz, the kind you can't feel anymore. Your face is painted blue, you're hardly breathing at all, and the last thing you remember before it all goes gray are the bastards who kissed and betrayed you, the lovers who miss you, and 1 or 2 times you got laid. Oh, she'll come and sweep off your hat, she will howl in your alley, she'll lead you back from hell. She wields the wind with the full force of tenderness, and you pray to God she always will. And she gave you a gift, a song that prays like a hawk on a wing. Man, it's a question of vision, and when she lets loose her talons, boys, oh, that'll be the last time you sing. Oh, but in the distance there'll be that waltz of things you can't talk of these days, of love's best unspoken, loves that have been driven away, loves that have been spilt in this barroom. And I'll stand on that bar and raise a glass to the time that would frighten the sober. The sober would fucking well ask. Oh, what we need here is a waltz. Tonight I'll dangle from this pipe. I'll inspect the cables one more time. It's my life. I'll climb up and perch myself upon this tree. I'll wave through the spotlights, my sequins gleam as a clown sings the man on the flying trapeze. Hey kid, the circus is in town. Scare your parents, run away. It's your life. Let go. Tuck your head between your knees. Throw your weight and spin ass over tit. Then grab the pair of ankles on the next trapeze, and I am lithe. A short-lived man-made flight over the crowned heads of Europe and the gaping mouths of children. And if I fail, fall twisted to the earth. Will give my regards to Orville and Wilbur Wright. A boy sleeps on my trailer floor. A town he from 2 towns ago. His name is Wild. He's up at daybreak, mending the costumes before I awake. Then he stands on 1 foot as he shaves my face and talks tight ropes the balance of the day. When I was young, I walked the wire. I worked with an umbrella and no nets. And I was a fool, but there's no telling him this. I know that there's no stopping Wild. The bound and determined future equilibrist. All I can tell him is, kid, you better know your tools damn well, and there's no trick to living life defying death. The trick comes in earning a living, getting the crowd to hold its breath, 'cause they hope you fail and you pretend to risk your life. P.T. Barnum, meet the brothers right. Do you dare imagine flying through the air? Or do you dangle by your teeth, swinging in the breeze? Are you waiting for an offer, the next trapeze? And I am lithe in my short-lived man-made flight over the crowned heads of Europe and the gaping mouths of children. And one day I'll fail and fall twisted to the earth. Will give my regards to Orville and Wilbur Wright. Just remember, when life has got you down and everything is falling to pieces around you and you have no hope, that there's always money for a person who's willing to fake their own death. I'm gonna get me a great big truck. I'm gonna load her up with everything I own. Blow my last $5 on gas, then drive up to the high cliffs overlooking the sea. Me and everything I own are gonna stop and contemplate the ocean. Reflect on our lives as our lives surely pass us by. Bet the boss is wondering where I'm at and where his favorite chair is gone. It's a great place to park your lazy ass. They're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Me and everything I own. Well, we brought along a few things that I stole from my neighbors' homes. It's okay, 'cause they're all insured. You see, I saw to that. I was the one that sold it to them before me and everything they had. Headed for the hills. Bet the boss is wondering where I'm at and where this month's payroll went. It's a great way to spend those latter years, every material need met. Well, two beachcombers found my truck at the base of the cliff where the surf runs away. The sad remains of everything I own. The police suspect foul play. And although my corpse was never found, well, they figure, well, it washed out to sea. In the insurance game, tragedies like this have a name: double indemnity. Bet the boss is wondering where I'm at, and knowing that asshole, he's pretty stressed. But me, I'm living a little like Paul Gauguin on an island where the women underdress. The only difference is I am very rich, and I'm extremely happy. Who says that you can't take it with you? Here's to dying young and everything I own. Gather all ye myrtles brown, watch all the queer town folk dance round and round. There's confetti in the air, loosen up your underwear, put on some Uncle Peter and plant your lawn chair near the sound. Listen to a few delightful lies. It's the hummingbirds and the horseflies try and guess each other's size. In the dried flowers and the fresh weeds that you've thrown up into the trees. What kind of shadows do you throw in your under moon and stars? I've never seen this man so happy, or this woman brought so near to tears. She can't stop laughing and you blame her, it's been years. Tell me, where do you think your life begins? Listen up, young fella, can't you feel it on your skin? The strongest, the strangest smell in all the world that I've heard tell is true, true love. It's true, true love. It's true, true love. It's true, true love. He will be her sword, and she'll be his shield. They'll sew Queen's Anne's lace together along the Elysian fields. Take the time to watch it grow. From down here it looks a lot like snow. They'll stare into each other's eyes until this winter dies. She'll lie down with him and make angels. He will piss a heart into the snow. Children learn to doubt there's springtime if desert winter's all they know. You can take your stupid little smirk, you can shove it far up your ass, you lost and lonely, cynical jerk. 'Cause the sweetest, the deepest smell in all the world that I've heard tell is true, true love. It's true, true love. Oh, it's true, 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 true love. It's true, 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 true love. Oh, it's true, true love.